There are a lot of unsolved murders and missing persons cases in my state. Some get solved relatively quickly, some are only solved years later, and some are never solved. It's unfortunate, but that's just how it goes, I suppose. I try to help when I can, but a man not officially involved with law enforcement or the press can only do so much. Still, I'm good friends with people in both, so they'll often tell me details and come to me for advice, despite them not supposed to be doing so. And no, I'm not going to give out any names, nor will I give details about the cases that I've assisted with in the past, or any of the cases that I'm currently working on, for a multitude of reasons. Anyways, I'm essentially a civilian consultant for many of the officers and reporters in town. This is both good and bad. It's good because plenty of cases have been solved with my assistance, but there are also many cases that will remain unsolved, as having them solved would implicate me as well. One such case was a string of disappearances and murders that occurred from November 1st of 2021 to February 14th of the same year. The police were stumped. Nobody had seen anything of use, and the few tips they'd received were essentially useless. The only thing remotely of use to them was a heavily distorted message taunting the police on a cassette tape of all things. Everyone was baffled, so I decided to look into it myself. I wasn't officially tied to the police, and have a pretty good reputation in my community, so I could do more than them, usually. I decided the first thing that I would do was watch and wait in the areas where disappearances were happening most frequently. It took less time for something to come than I expected. After talking with the owner of the auto body shop on Maple and Walnut, a friend of mine, I parked my car in his lot, disguising it as one of the ones that he was working on. From there, I watched, hidden and waiting for something to happen. About a half an hour later, I saw what I was looking for. As a woman was walking down the street, just out of view of my buddy's cameras, a truck stopped beside her. A man jumped out, choking the woman into presumed unconsciousness, and tossed her into the back, then continued on his way. I followed the vehicle, doing my best to remain inconspicuous. Eventually, we ended up at a house nearby. I drove by slowly, watching him take her out of the vehicle and noting the address, which was rather isolated. I'd already begun memorizing his plates. I didn't think he'd see me. I thought I'd been careful enough. Apparently, I was wrong. It was February 13th. The next day was February 14th, Valentine's Day. I'd had the day all planned out with my wife, a plan which was shattered upon awaking the next morning. I woke up the next morning to the sound of a shattered window, my wife screaming, and my sons crying. I immediately jumped out of bed to see what the fuck was going on. Upon running down the stairs, I saw one of our kitchen windows smashed with a brick and a cassette tape on the table. Thankfully, my boys were unharmed, but my wife was nowhere to be found. My neighbors had come out to see what was wrong, and I explained to them what I knew, with the exception of the tape. None of them had seen what happened, aside from an off-duty officer, Flint, name changed, who'd mentioned seeing a vehicle that matched one that I'd been following yesterday driving by real quick. Flint took my statement and waited for them to leave so I could figure out what to do. After a few moments, I reached into my jacket pocket and pulled out my phone and dialed the number of someone that I knew I could trust, though I wasn't fully expecting an answer. When I did, I spoke quickly. "Hey, Cypher, I'll make this quick. Do you happen to be near my area?"
"Yeah, why?"
"I could use your help with something. Something I'd rather discuss in person. and it'd be nice to catch up. It's been a while.
Yeah, I'm in.
Cool. If she's around and she wants to, bring your sister too. We'll make it a party. I hung up and got ready for company. I knew my cousins were going to be just as pissed as I was, and I knew that it would be fun to hang out with them again, just like old times. Social media can be very unpredictable, especially regarding horror content. If this content gets removed, all new content will be simultaneously presented on various websites provided in the description to this video. Make sure to follow me in other digital spaces so that you never miss out on the terror. Also, if you like this video, make sure to leave a comment and hit the like button. It helps the channel a lot. If you're new to the channel and you enjoy what's here, consider hitting that subscribe button and the notification bell so that you never miss an upload. Writing is a dream of mine, and it's all of you that make that dream come true.